Sir, this is urgent. I must insist you stop reading and come with me now.
There is no need for alarm. I am exactly where I need to be.
You don't expect a voice like this to cut through a calm flight. But when the captain asked for combat pilots, every breath stopped, and the man in seat 3C slowly closed his book. The question fell heavy over the cabin. Sharp and sudden, like a blade dropped without warning, the captain asked if any combat pilots were on board. No reason was given. No comfort followed. Just that question, hanging in the air while the plane trembled in a way no one wanted to name. In seat 3C, a black man sat by the window, reading quietly. His hands were steady, his face calm. The page paused mid-turn as his eyes lifted, not in panic, not in pride, but with a tired knowing that had nothing to do with fear. Around him, people shifted. Some glanced at him and then away. Others stared openly, measuring him with the wrong kind of curiosity. He wore a plain jacket, faded at the cuffs. No uniform. Just a man traveling alone, eyes holding more than they revealed. A flight attendant hesitated nearby, her posture stiff, her smile tight. She looked past him twice before speaking to someone else. The silence around seat 3C grew thick, crowded with assumptions. No one dared say out loud. The plane dipped again, subtle but enough. A child whimpered. A man gripped his armrest. Still, the reader in 3C did not move. He breathed slow, deep, as if counting something only he could see. His name was Elijah Turner, though no one on that flight knew it yet. To them, he was just another passenger. To himself, he was a man who had learned long ago that calm was a shield, and silence could carry more weight than noise ever could. Elijah's life had been shaped by service and loss. Years earlier, the smell of fuel and metal had been his daily air. He had flown combat missions in skies that never slept, where danger lived in every shadow. He remembered the tight space of the cockpit, the heat pressing in, the quiet hum before everything changed. He remembered friends who joked too loud to hide their fear. Friends who never came home. He remembered the day he lost Marcus, his closest wingman. The sky had been clear, almost beautiful. Too beautiful. The memory still sat in his chest, like unfinished business. He remembered the silence after the mission, the empty seat at briefing. The weight of knowing survival was never fair. After leaving service, Elijah carried those memories quietly. He did not talk about them much. He found peace in small routines. Morning coffee, long walks, books that let his mind rest somewhere safe. Reading had become his way of grounding himself, of reminding his body that the war was behind him, even when his instincts said otherwise. On this flight, his book rested open on his lap, but his attention was elsewhere. He felt the plane through his bones, the slight delay in response, the way the engine sounded just a fraction off. These were things he had learned to notice, not as a hobby, but as survival. The captain's voice returned, calmer but strained. The request was repeated. "Any combat pilots? Please identify yourselves to the crew." A murmur spread, then died. People looked around, hoping someone else would answer. A man in a crisp suit raised his hand halfway, then dropped it. A young woman shook her head, eyes wide. No one spoke. A passenger leaned toward Elijah and whispered something sharp, something small. Maybe it was doubt. Maybe it was fear wearing the mask of judgment. Elijah did not react. He kept his eyes forward, his body still. He had learned that not every moment deserved a response. The flight attendant finally addressed him, voice careful, almost rehearsed. She asked if he had heard the announcement. Her eyes flicked to his hands, then to his face, searching for something she could label. Elijah nodded once. Yes, he had heard. There was a pause, long enough to feel intentional. She asked if he was qualified. The word hung there, heavy. Elijah met her gaze. His voice, when it came, was low and even. He said he was a former combat pilot. He said it the way one states the weather. No drama, no demand. The attendant blinked. Surprise crossed her face, followed by something else. Doubt, perhaps? She asked for confirmation. Papers. Proof. Elijah reached into his bag slowly, careful not to startle anyone. He pulled out an old identification card, edges worn, photo faded but unmistakably him. She took it, glanced, then glanced again. Her posture shifted. Around them, eyes widened. The cabin seemed to lean in. Still, no apology came. Only a nod. She turned and walked quickly toward the front, leaving Elijah alone with the weight of 100 stares. Some were ashamed. Some were relieved. Some were still unsure what to think. The plane shuddered again, stronger this time. Overhead lights flickered. The captain's voice returned, urgency no longer hidden. There was an issue with the controls. Assistance was needed. This was the moment Elijah had prepared for his entire life without knowing it. He closed his book fully now, sliding it into his bag. He stood, feeling the familiar pull of responsibility settle on his shoulders. Not because he wanted praise, not because he sought redemption, but because when you know how to help, you do. As he moved down the aisle, the cabin parted for him. People pulled their legs back. Someone whispered, "Thank you." Another bowed their head. The man in the suit would not meet his eyes. In the cockpit, the air was tight, filled with focused fear. Elijah took in the scene in seconds. Instruments, readings, the captain's clenched jaw. He spoke calmly, asking questions that cut through the chaos. His presence was steady, grounding. He worked with the crew, hands sure, mind clear. He remembered Marcus, not as a ghost, but as a guide. He remembered every lesson written in sweat and loss. Slowly, the plane responded. The tremble eased. The sky outside stretched wide and forgiving. When it was over, when the danger had passed and the course corrected, there was no celebration. Just relief. Just quiet. Elijah stepped back, letting the crew take control. He returned to his seat, heart steady, hands calm once more. The cabin changed after that. People stood, not all at once, but as if moved by a shared understanding. No clapping. Just respect. Heads bowed, eyes softened. A child smiled at him. An elderly woman placed a hand over her heart. The flight attendant returned, eyes wet, voice shaking. She thanked him. Not loudly, honestly. Elijah nodded. He did not need more. Later, as the plane landed safely, the captain addressed the passengers. He spoke of courage, of skill, of a man who stepped forward when it mattered. He asked for a moment of gratitude. Elijah remained seated as others turned toward him. He felt the weight lift, not because he had been seen, but because he had done what was right. One line stayed with the cabin long after. Courage does not ask to be believed. It proves itself when silence breaks. Another followed, softer, but just as strong. Respect is not given by rank, but by action. As people disembarked, many paused by seat 3C. Some said thank you. Some said nothing at all, but their eyes spoke. Elijah smiled politely, then picked up his bag. He stepped into the terminal, just another traveler again, blending into the flow of life moving forward. This story is not just about a flight. It is about the unseen strength people carry, about the danger of judging before knowing, about the power of quiet dignity in a world that often demands noise. If this story moved you, share where you are watching from. Leave your thoughts below. And subscribe for more stories that honor silent heroes who rise when it matters most.